Here's how I got to 30 plus pull-ups in 3 months with my starting point being at 22. For some reason, I decided that I will reach that number of reps, probably because it seemed like some standard that very few people can reach. In any case, my desire was very strong and I made it my priority in training, which is the most important thing. You will see later why. If you also want to increase the reps, you should know this. Endurance is not like strength or hypertrophy training. It's much more exhausting and requires a strong mind, but also builds a stronger mind in return. It is much harder mentally to do your true max in bodyweight pull-ups than it is to do, let's say, 1 rep max on the bench press. First thing is to realize that in order to increase the reps, you need to train in high rep ranges. Sounds obvious, but a lot of people, including me, would still use regular methods like 3 sets of 12 and expect that to work. It can work, of course, but it all depends on how you structure the workout. It's just one of many methods you can apply, and if you do it correctly, it will work. My training frequency was 3 times per week. Not too much and not too many. This is essential because when you push your muscles to absolute limit in bodyweight reps, it's very demanding and it's much harder to recover from that. That is why I limited my true maxes to just once or twice per week. In the rest of my workouts, I did not go to absolute failure. Now, since I've started this journey, I have noticed one thing. It was really hard for me to reach my true limit in the first set of my workout. Sure, I would try to go to failure, but for some reason, by the end of the set, my arms would just let go and I would feel some sort of fatigue, even though I felt like I had strength to spare. There is a solution which worked for me, which is a high volume warm-up. Before I even start the workout, I would do 3 sets of pull-ups, and then in my main set, I would not feel that fatigue anymore. This works for me though. I wouldn't claim that it's the ultimate solution and everyone should do that, but if you want to try that, by all means do that and maybe you will see some positive results. Now, the first method that helped me a lot is controlled fatigue sets. Instead of pushing to absolute failure, you stop right at the point where your movement starts to slow down. Then have a short under 2-minute rest and go again. For one thing, you train with high volume, with good enough form, and with only partial recovery. And for another, you improve mind-muscle connection, and as a result, you become more efficient at that movement. Here's how to set the amount of reps for this exercise. If your max is 20 pull-ups, take half of that, and that would be the amount that you can do continuously without stopping or slowing down. Remember that the more efficient you become at a certain movement, the less energy you use during it and the more reps you can do as a result. I was making good progress at first. I got from 22 to 23 to 24, but then for some reason I got stuck for a few weeks. My reps did not grow anywhere from 24 and even decreased. I wasn't happy about that at all, but I knew that giving up is just worse. I'll be honest, people give up because they don't want to reach their goal bad enough. Who would give up if something doesn't work out the first time if you actually want to go somewhere? It's like this. Let's say you're playing a video game and you die in a video game. You don't give up, do you? You try again and again because you really want to finish the game. So why don't you treat your training the same way? Maybe something needs adjustment. Maybe it's your diet or your training. Maybe you're not training hard enough, or maybe you do and you need a deload. That was my case, so after a quick rest, I got back to training. Turns out that being patient paid off, and soon enough, I got back on track. Again, I want to emphasize that if you want to increase reps, high volume sets must be included in your workout. However, the second method that helped me increase the reps is simple, strength, high intensity, low rep training. Weighted pull-ups, cable rows, or barbell rows in the gym. Why? Because you get stronger and the reps feel lighter. You use less energy on your first reps. It's as simple as that. At some point, you don't need that much strength anymore, But beginners and even advanced people will definitely benefit from that. You can try to increase reps without weights, but if you have them, I strongly suggest you do it as well. It will make it so much faster and easier to grow, provided you can go to failure on those exercises. I can't stress enough how important this is. Not in every set, of course, but if you're not training hard enough, which most people don't, it might be the reason why you're not seeing results. At least one of your sets should be looking like this in the end. The third method I used is called myoreps. The idea is that you do your main set, then rest for 15 to 20 seconds and do the set again. Of course, you will do less reps than on your first set, more like 5 to 8 rather than 20 or whatever amount you are doing. The point is that you instantly activate high threshold motor units. And if those are activated, that is where the most strength and muscle growth happens. The way I would do it is that I do my activation set, which is probably 25 to 30 pull-ups, then rest for 20 seconds, do the second set, which would be 5 to 6, then rest for another 20 seconds and do it the third time. Last but not least, obviously, if you want to increase the reps, you should be testing them every once in a while. For me, this was once per week bare minimum. I did the pull-ups with the dead stop, just like the rules say you should do at the competition, and I'll be honest, throughout my 3 months training, it was not a straight line. So if you can see the bigger picture and you know that in a few months' time from now, you'll be at a totally different place, every goal you set is worth doing. Also know this, it's impossible to not make progress if you have the right exercises. You are going to failure, you are eating and sleeping well, and you don't stop training. That's all. Literally, there is no way you will not grow. If you've stalled, it's always one of these things. Go back to the drawing board, just think through all the things you are and aren't doing, and find what it is. Just keep trying, and you will find a way. And if you want to make sure you will follow all these things, and you want to make serious gains, check out the top link in the description. You get one-on-one coaching and a custom workout that will help you break your limits and become stronger. The link is below. And keep training hard.